Hi everybody, my name is Courtney Rogers. I am one of the keepers here in Rocky Mountain Wild, and we're joined by one of our mountain lions, Adira, and hopefully some of the others are going to make their way over to see what we're doing right now as well. So we've got 3 mountain lions that are hanging out with us today. This is Sitka. He's the biggest one, and he's actually Adira's brother. So for anybody wondering how all of our mountain lions are related, Sitka and Adira back there, they are siblings. They're a little over a year and a half right now. They were our orphans that came in 2019 and joined us here at the zoo. And then we also have a 3rd mountain lion named Koda, and Koda is about 7 months old, almost 8 months old pretty soon here. And Koda moved here this summer in 2020, and he came from Washington just like these guys did, but he had a little bit of a backstory that's slightly different from theirs in that they had each other even though they had lost their mom. But Koda was found all by himself, no mom, no siblings, so he had a bit of a different road to travel than they did. So our big update for right now is that all 3 of the mountain lions are living together all the time. So 24/7, we leave them together overnight, we leave them together during electric safari, and they've been doing really, really wonderful. A lot of people ask us how we kind of came to that living arrangement with these guys, and it's definitely had its ups and downs. So one of the things that Koda didn't know how to do when he got here was how to speak mountain lion. He was not very fluent in that, and it took him a little bit of time to learn what they were trying to tell him. He was really excited about meeting the other mountain lions, especially Adira. He seemed at first like he really was interested in getting to know her. And so he had kind of a big learning curve with what was allowed and what wasn't allowed as far as proper mountain lion behavior. If you're at the zoo, you see our mountain lions often. They are sleeping. They all like to sleep about 20 hours every single day. Koda, maybe not quite as much as the others, but he still joins in quite a bit, and they really enjoy spending time together. So you'll see them in some pretty weird positions sometimes. You'll see you can't tell if there are 3 mountain lions in the puddle or 2 mountain lions. You'll just see legs and tails sticking out in odd directions. But one of the things they really like to do when they're in those piles sleeping is the grooming. So cats spend a lot of time grooming. Even if you have cats at home, you'll see them. It's really important to them, but it's also a great way for them to strengthen their bonds that they've got and their relationships with each other. So our mountain lions here at the zoo will oftentimes groom each other, but Koda, he hasn't really had anybody else to groom until he met these other 2 mountain lions. He didn't really seem to know what to do at first. He was trying to really get her ear very clean, but he kept biting it as well sometimes, but she was really patient. She let him just kind of work it out on his own, and I think it really helps that he's kind of doing the things that they expect him to do now. So it's a great bonding moment for them. We thought that we were going to have to do more to make sure that the kitten wasn't going to be too overwhelmed with these 2 big mountain lions, but what we ended up seeing was really more that the adults wanted their own space. They wanted to be able to get away from the kitten instead of having him with them all the time. And it was really it turned into more about protecting Sitka and Adira from Koda rather than the other way around, which is kind of funny to see this little 30-pound mountain lion kitten chasing these adults around. They're over 100 pounds, and he would chase them all over, up and down the rock faces. So giving them a lot of things that they could do together was really important. So he wasn't just always focusing on, I've got to chase the big guys around. We tried to really make it so that instead of playing chase, let's all work on tearing up a cardboard box together or tackling these pumpkins. They love to rip and shred pumpkins quite a bit. So we really had to get creative with finding ways to make the adults feel comfortable and really kind of figure out what was in it for them with sharing space with this kitten. Now that they're living together all the time, we ended up making that decision because we were seeing that Koda, even though he was still getting yelled at sometimes by the adults, he was respecting them a lot more, and he was really listening to what they were saying. So if they said, hey, I don't want to play right now, he would say, okay, that's fine. And we would see him walk away and go play with something else or do something else. So we knew that they were ready for that next step. But when we started doing that, we really started to see Koda calming down a lot more. So they're no longer this really novel, exciting thing. They're just, his roommate. Everybody's doing really, really well, and we're very excited that all of them are finally living all together.